Hello, hello. There are people there.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we are.
I said to Mark now, I said, I need to, I'm hoping there are people joining me and it's not just going to be me chatting to myself for an hour. And then people started arriving. It's like, yay, this is going to be fine. Right. This is weird without Irina. I usually have a co-host and I've got someone to talk to. So you're all going to have to join in and chat. I've got wool.
And me.
I'm not sure how much I'm going to actually get crochet though, because my usual issue is trying to crochet and chat and I don't get very far. So we'll see what happens. I've got a collection of animals to keep me company.
Oh. Is that what happens if I do that? Rachel.
But hi, you are all very welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to try and do a leg. I feel like I can definitely do a leg in an hour. It's whether I can do a leg in an hour and chat to people. That might be the challenge, but we'll see.
Which weight of yarn are you using?
I'm going to do Aaron. So I'm going to do the large. I really want to do the chunky, but I think having done Morag, I think I really enjoyed doing a chunky animal. And I feel like if I do the large one, I can then reward myself with a chunky.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Because otherwise, I think I'll do the chunky and I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to go do the large one now. And I feel like I need discipline. But my plan over the next month of doing these on a Tuesday is to try and get both of them done. We'll see how well that goes. I might need to see how much crochet I get done. And then if I don't get that much done, I might need to crochet in the week. But my plan originally was to see if I could make 2 on the Zooms. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I'm definitely not that speedy.
How long did it take Tash to do a leg?
I can't remember what the actual time was. And I thought about it afterwards when I watched the video back. And I'd already uploaded it to YouTube and it was too late to re-edit it without taking it down and then putting it back up. But it wasn't long. I want to say it was like 6 or 7 minutes.
That's insane.
Is it 6 or 7 minutes?
Girls.
It wasn't like you saw in the video of Tash finished a leg and did the loop stitches because it was one of the top legs. Before I even got like half of it. Maybe it wasn't 6, maybe it was longer. I'll see if I've got all the raw footage. I'll go back and I'll see if I can work out how long it was. But yeah, she's definitely the speed crocheter.
That one.
Tash is going to join us on one of these in the future. I did joke to her that she's going to need to give us all speed crocheting tips. Because there's something very very speedy about it. And I like just watch her, like she doesn't, like she says she just crochets. And I don't think she does anything particular. Like I've watched her. I don't think Tash does anything particularly different. She's just quick. Is anyone else Tash's speed? Do we have any self-claimed fast stitchers?
I've tried to speed up and I just start making all sorts of mistakes. I go in the wrong place. I start splitting the thread. So I just end up having to unpick it. So there's no advantage to me going any quicker.
I'm kind of with you there. I feel like that's a that's a theme for me as well. I guess the one thing I try and do is when I don't, once I've done the decreases, and I'll show you when I get there, I don't put the stitch marker in. I'm guessing lots of you do that. So you decrease on doing a leg, for example. I'll decrease, and then when you're just crocheting around, I'll just keep going and then count the yarns. And I know Tash does that.
If it's like 10 rounds and there's 12 stitches, I just count to 120.
I do that as well, but I find then that I'm like then saying to Mark, going, no, I'm counting. I literally can't do that.
I can only do that if my kids are not going to be anywhere near me, because otherwise you can guarantee I'll be part way through, past a bit I remember, and then someone will say something, there'll be a really loud noise, and I'm like, oh no, what did I just get up to?
Exactly that.
Yeah, I always use a stitch marker. I just find it stresses me out trying to remember. Otherwise, I can count to like 20. Okay, any more than that, and I'm done. And you know, I don't mind being slow because it's kind of fun just to do it, right?
Exactly. Embrace your pace.
Yeah,
You're doing better than me. I can't count to more than 3.
yeah. I do have to go back and count.
I count in 3s when I'm doing crochet or knitting. That's the only way I can keep track.
Well, they do say 3 is the magic number.
Well, clearly
For that reason.
they were onto something.
Yeah, I've got to keep marking them off on a tally, otherwise, yeah, I'm in the same place.
I've already lost count. All this talk of counting now.
Well, I was just thinking the same thing. I've literally done 12 stitches. I haven't got very far.
I'm dealing with yarn bath, so I've done 0.
Oh. Although it is one of my favorite things to try and fix. Like if you could post it to me, I'm happy to try it.
Yeah, I have a friend who finds it very calming. So literally, I did that for every couple of months. She gets an envelope with anything that's got tangled while being stored or mid being used, and I get it back a few weeks later. I just send chocolate with it, and then we're all happy.
It's definitely got to be done. Some people definitely like that. I'm gonna fix it. And yeah, others are just like, that's it. Yarn is ruined.
I can do it for a bit, but then there's always a point. It's like, no, I'm gonna cut it. I've just had enough. I'm just gonna cut it.
I'm just gonna cut it.
It's like untangling the Christmas lights.
I always think you're about to get there, and then it still takes you another 3 hours, and at which point I've lost the will. It takes so long.
It's finding where it's decided to eat itself.
Yeah.
My husband's also pretty good at it. So I do about half an hour and go, right, I've had enough. And I hand it to him. And then he stays up an hour or so after I go to sleep, and I come back in the morning and it's generally done. If it's too much for him, or it's like some massive thing, that's the stuff that then gets sent off to my friend.
Staff it out.
Yeah.
How's the fine bear coming along?
I finished the fine bear. Let me finish this round, otherwise we're going to get back into counting things. Never again, can I just say? Yeah. I don't know if it was a combination of, it was the first one that I'd done, so it was a bit fiddly. I've got bigger hands, I've got slightly old eyes, and I needed my reading glasses or everything. Yeah, we were not enjoying that. So here he is.
19.
Oh, he's quite cute though.
Super cute.
Oh no, you made me lose count now.
Sorry. And it is like, because I think they double in size. So that's obviously the standard DK version. And then he sits. So I've already got the picture in my head now with the Aaron one sitting behind him, and then the chunky one sitting behind again.
You all have to sit behind that then as well.
I know. But yeah, like I see the only time I've done micro crochet was when I did the Charles Darwin workshop. Did you all see the little tiny octopus?
Yeah.
It was. Have you? Let me grab it in case somebody wants to see that. It lives on the bookcase, so the kids don't get it. But it lives in this.
Oh. I admire people who can do micro crochet, but I sway beyond my eyeball limits, I'm afraid.
Same. That was enough.
That's lovely.
I want to say it was on a 1.5 mil hook. Does that sound about right? Yeah, I think so. And I think this was done on a 2. I think that was done on a 2 mil hook. And I think that was done on a 1.5. But that was my only experience really with micro crochet. And then this came along and I was like, nope. And you see some people that make all the Toft makes in micros.
Oh, wow.
Don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. I'm sure there's been a post on one of the festivals or the workshops, and Kerry's had someone who's done them, and they literally sit on her finger or something.
Yeah, if you want to, so if you follow on Instagram, comet_moth, that's Holly. She is renowned for her tiny tinies. Let me see if I can find you. It's like she did the bison that sits in her hand. It's just like you just look at it and you're just like, I don't know. So I have messaged Holly. It's like, hi, will you make me a micro Martyn, please? Because I have no interest in doing one, but I would really quite like one. So this was definitely a one-off. But I did micro loop stitch and or mini loop stitch. But yeah. I'm glad I've done that one to get it out of the way, because I think if I'd done the large or the chunky, I don't need him in all yarn weights. It's fine. So yeah, I'm glad he's done. But now I'm glad I'm onto something proper. So I've got a 5 mil hook and the Aran yarn. So yeah, we're back on quicker ground, hopefully.
I haven't made any of the large ones yet, but when you did was it the large elf or the nutcracker? It made me very tempted.
Yes, in the birthday sale that's just gone, we bought the large head elf. The elfie. No, the head elf. When it'll get done, have no idea. But the nutcracker was looking lonely on the sofa, so I figured maybe the Christmas makes should be large in Aran. So that's the plan. To do that one at some point. Mystery Knit Along season's come in and it's all going to be shawl. And then I've got November to literally finish everything for the year, which isn't going to happen.
Are you doing the Toft Advent this year?
Yes.
Martyn.
And how many other Advents
Can you
have
see
you
these
got?
ones? I've done a mini as well. You see the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're really cute. Which pattern's that one?
This is the Arthur's.
Oh, okay. Wow. A few years ago, I did the Birds of Christmas.
Yes.
And then they've got the mini birds. And I was a bit birded out by that point. I was like, maybe that was next year's challenge to do all the mini birds that went with them, and thought, nah, that's not.
I've got the mini bird set. I have not started it yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's on my list as well.
But someone asked about advent.
Doing the mini birds is easier than doing the miniatures. You know, the mini birds are not made in fine; they are made in DK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course, because it's a smaller pattern, isn't it? But it's double knit.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I need to try and work out a mini Martyn then as well. Because there was a mini corgi pattern, wasn't there, one year? So maybe I need to find a mini pattern and see if I can adapt it and make. He's just going to be in all the sizes except micro, because I'm not doing that one. I'll ask Bob to do that one for me.
It should be, if it's the basic form, then it should be quite easy to adapt, shouldn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it'll just be because obviously Martyn's got standard legs, standard body, so it's probably just working out how I adapt the face shape.
I'm gonna say mini Emma the bunny would probably work.
Oh yeah, there is. I could probably adapt her, couldn't I?
Just because I think that's the very first one I did. I got a mini the Emma the bunny kit.
Okay.
And then got the book and the dino book, and we're like, oh yeah, DK full size is much easier.
Yeah, and I like the fine one. I used hardly any wool at all. Like it doesn't look like I didn't weigh it. Actually. I should have weighed it to see how much I used, but the balls don't look like they've had anything come off them. So I think you can probably get. I think Perry said maybe 3 minis out of one ball. Like if you're doing all in one color, like I think you could do like 3 Emmas out of one ball. I think that's what they said.
How heavy are the balls, or how big are the balls? The fine.
That's a good question. Does anyone know? I can look if not.
They're 50 grams.
There we go.
Oh, right.
I only know because I'm doing a cowl in Toft yarn, a cowl along this weekend, and I was checking that I'd got enough, so I know they're 50 grams.
There we go. So at least 2, if not 3, minis in fine out of one ball.
I did an alpaca in Toft fine. I've not got it to hand, but I've got a picture. I don't know if this will work because I've blurred my background. Fleecing in fine was hard.
I was just going to say that fleecing in fine does not sound.
It was really, really hard on my hands. But again, like you said with the balls, it looked like nothing had come off the ball. I'd got about half a ball of yarn left.
Yeah.
With all that fleecing as well.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sure there's a mini Penelope or a small Penelope bear pattern.
Ah, there we go. That,
which you could adapt.
Yeah.
In the past.
I'm going to add it. You lot are enabling. I'm going to add it to my.
Martyn, all the minis are in the books.
Oh yes, they are. I'm not sure if I've got a mini book though.
Are in the 4 mini books that she released.
Oh, I don't have those.
Ah.
Those? No, I don't think I have.
Ah.
Add them to your list then.
No, it's a thing for Santa actually.
Next up on Martyn's acquisitions list.
Yeah, nothing else this year. I have to make some things and stop finding new projects. So have we got any of Martyn's on the go?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very weird being able to say that.
Am I allowed to say that I've just finished a leg that I started at the start of the...
Oh, shut up.
No, you have not done a leg in 20 minutes.
I'm on the first round after my 18 stitches.
Come on, Jan, you can do it.
I've done it.
Sarah, that's insane. Well done.
Thank you. Now, can I ask, I'm going to need some real help in doing loop stitch because I can't do it.
No, not me.
I need a demo.
Now,
I
don't do my loop stitch like Carrie does her.
No, nor me.
And I showed Carrie when I was at HQ how I do my loop stitch, and she said, that's fine, that works, but that's not loop stitch. If you cut those, they're all going to unravel.
Oh.
So I can show people how I do mine, but it's not loop stitch. And you just need the caveat that if you did, I think it's Blake the orangutan, which you do all over in loop and then cut the loops, do not do it the way that I do it, because I'm not having the responsibility that you spend all that time looping on Blake and then it all and he's fallen apart.
But this is my loopy bird.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
and I did the loop stitch, but I had gaps, so I just went in afterwards and slip stitched loops in,
Yeah.
like round his face and stuff, to like fill in the gaps and on the body and things, because this is the first time I did loop stitch, and yeah, it's not fun.
You chose an easy project to start with then.
It's the Birds Club. This was quarter 2, so I didn't know what I was getting.
See, now I really enjoy loop stitch, which was why when I went, I'm not sure I filmed it. I don't think we talked about it on the camera. And Kerry said, like, so what you thinking? What techniques? He said, not really complex color changing. That's not, I don't really enjoy that. I really enjoy loop stitch. And they all kind of looked to me as if to go, weirdo. So I said, so I think he definitely needs loop stitch. So
it's your fault then.
It's completely my fault. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I want loop stitch. That's where that then came from. But I think that's a really good technique that Abby just said about adding it afterwards. And it was going to be something I was going to mention today, though, for people that are, it's great that people have got in touch and kind of said, oh, I've got the pattern. I'm going to have a go at doing my first ever crochet, which is really cool that I get to try and enable you all and make tofters on you. But loop stitch is, it's not the easiest of techniques. I think once you've done it a few times and you got it, like if you do a project like that bird or like Morag, like you will become friends with it by the end, or you'll find your own way of doing it. But you absolutely can add it on afterwards, because you can just sew it on. And especially with Martyn, because if you've not seen it up close, so he's got standard legs, but his arms are done with loops just at the top. So there's a couple of rounds of loop stitch there. There's a couple of rounds of loop stitch on his chest. And then this bit here is added retrospectively. So we crochet a little tiny bib. And that's pretty much it then, apart from the little bits on his ears. So it's one of those, if you wanted to do it, the original prototype has got a lot more. So you can see it's a lot thicker. We had many more rows of loops, all on the body and on the arms. But you can't really see his neck. It was a lot thicker. He's still got his glasses on. Mark bought glasses. He decided he needed spectacles. So he's got quite a lot more loops than this one. So the final pattern, and I think you could definitely embroider those loops, because I think it is just 2 rounds of loops around his neck, and then similar on the arms and the ears. So you could make him without loops. He would look fine without, but then to get that color change in, because effectively the color change is done in the oatmeal in this one with the loops. You could either just do the color change and just do those rounds in a different color and then add the loops on afterwards. I think that would work really well. Or you can brave. And I think I'm not going to be able to show this as a demo now, because obviously the camera's here, but the way Kerry does it is she wraps it around her hand. So you make that cross there. And it's that cross then that gives you the lock in, so that it doesn't undo if you cut it. Whereas what I do is I go through and I just pull the yarn from here. So I don't loop it. I just grab where my working yarn goes over my finger. And then you can see that it comes down there like that. That's how I pull it through. But it doesn't cross over, and it's the crossover. So you'd pull this from here then, where you've got the cross, and it's that cross that locks it in. So in my version, they're still locked in, but if you cut them, they would then, the thread would pull out. So I guess mine cheats loop stitch, which is okay for something like this. But as I said, total disclaimer, do not do that if you're doing an animal that needs cutting.
I made the squirrel, failed miserably with the loop stitch because of my critter, and ended up making 2 pom-poms and sewing those on for his well, you know, he was unique.
Hey, that could work. That could still work.
Put pom-poms around your neck, Martyn.
Pom-poms for hats. Right. how are we getting on? I've done the bottom. So I've used my stitch marker, and now I'm just going to go straight up, and then I'll count these. So I counted the first row. So I've done round 1, and then I'm just going to go straight up. So now I can chat a bit more and crochet. Oh, here he comes. Come and say hello. He's going to cook tea.
Oh.
Good for him. Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Trying to work out where it was. Hi.
Oh, Hugo.
Is anyone doing Martyn from stash and had to use like alternative colours? I'm interested in if anyone's doing like an alternative colour, Martyn.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I did a rainbow Aster for Pride this year, so perhaps we could do a rainbow Martyn Bear.
Oh.
I love the idea of that. I guess we call her my mother-in-law, but she's not my official mother-in-law. She's my brother's wife. It's her mum. So Sue and Katie's parents come to us for Christmas, and Sue might be watching this back. Sue is going to learn to crochet, but has ordered a kit in alternative colours. So still sticking on browns. I can't remember. Hang on, maybe I can find out what colour she did. Can you remember? Yeah. Mark's like, sorry, can I boil the kettle? Yeah.
You may. We'll let you.
Yeah, you may boil the kettle. What colours did
Milk with 2 sugars, please.
Yeah, just milk for me, please.
Coffee for me. Get your orders in.
They have gone for steel, so same body, but then chestnut and camel. So slightly different browns.
Yes.
Although we're going to meet up and have a crochet lesson. So apparently I'm going to teach Sue to crochet, which is absolutely fine, but it is on the caveat that I may end up making it for her. I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Go on, Sue, you can do it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was going to teach her, and then lockdown happened. So that's like that, how long ago she wanted to learn, and we've just never got around to it. It's like, right, this is the time.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Was it hard to fix on the original colours? Like, was there a lot of debate, or was it quite? Yeah.
Because even when we got to dispatch, I wanted blue.
Oh.
For obvious reasons, because it's my color. And Kerry taught me out of it in the right way, because it was too obvious. And I think if you think about the stock image of the bear that I found, there's no blue, because obviously it's blue is the subtlety, like, and from a distance you can see it's the shimmering on the coat for where they get their name for being a bluebear from. But yeah, I think what we were trying to think of is how, so that the bit that I didn't consider is like when you think about the commerciality and things of kits as well. And it's like, do you want it to be a 3-ball kit or a 5-ball kit? And Kerry was really generous. There's very much like, do what you want. It's your bit. If you want it to be a 6-color kit, it could be a 6-color kit. Like you can style him however you want, but you've just then got to think about, well, a 6-color kit makes it more expensive. So people from a magazine perspective would do it with stash perhaps, but if you wanted people to buy the kit and make it more accessible, a 6-ball kit probably isn't, because you'd know we're going to use all 6. So it was that kind of commerciality stuff as well that I found really interesting, to be able to think about the style of it, the colors, but then think about, that mass market appeal, what makes it easier. Because I wanted to do this Bear-a-long as well. That was one of the things that we talked about, was that it would be great to see lots of people get together and have a virtual crochet night.
She's not a successful businesswoman for nothing, you know.
Exactly. That's why Kerry runs a business and I don't. It's like, commercial. I don't know. She's like, have you not thought about that stuff? I was like, no. I said, I just some loop stitch and would have a lovely time. So it was really interesting to think about all those kind of things as well.
Was he ever more than a 3-color bear then, or was it 3 colours?
No, I think we settled on 3 colors. Because I think, again, linking it back to that stock image, the 3 colors felt right. The only reason he may have become a 4th ball is for yardage. So like Kerry talks about that a bit in the video about they always allow 10% for other people's tension. So we had the 3 balls, we took the 10% off and we put that to one side on the big table so that we couldn't play with it. So as, assuming that we got him out of the 3 balls, then that was always the plan, and we did. And we didn't need to go into the 10%, which was lucky.
So will he be making a debut on Sewing Street this week?
I don't know, actually, because Kerry, did she say on Instagram? Is she the 2 shows this week? Is there a Halloween show?
An autumn and a Halloween.
Maybe.
Sorry,
I haven't seen the Sewing Street ones yet because I'm not sure. Is it on? Can I watch it on Sky? I should know.
It's
that.
on preview, I think.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Ah, okay, right. That needs to be something for this week then.
I feel I need to apologise to Mark now because of everything you're going to be buying while you're watching it on YouTube.
Take his credit card away.
He said he's made a mental note.
The only good thing about Sewing Street is that it's 1 P&P for the whole day. So you can like make multiple purchases during the hour, but you only pay the 1 P&P, although that's £4.95.
Oh, okay.
So like not like, you know, creating craft when you had to do it all in one order.
And then
But
something else comes up and you think, oh yeah, go on, I will get that one. You've got to pay for second postage. Ah, okay, I got you.
But you can't always see what's on the show before it starts. They sort of sometimes they seem to add it to the website as the program goes on, which isn't so good.
Yeah.
I think it is on Sky. I used to watch it. I think it's on like Hobby Maker channel or something. It's not called Sewing Street. It's like
it's
the same
channel...
thing that has Yarn Lane and other things.
Oh, okay, right.
But
yeah,
you can
channel...
find it on a Sky channel too, I think.
It's on channel 670.
There we go.
670. Not that I watch it, of course. But she did, because I think she did say that there was going to be some things that were only for exclusive, which normally means like, you know, they put a couple of kits together.
Yeah, because there was Halloween. Did I see what I was going to say? Gregor, that's not his name, is it? What's the gargoyle called?
Gregor.
Is it Gregor?
Yeah.
No, Gregor's the T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
Philippe.
Yeah.
I feel like I really want that to be like one of my specialist subjects, is like name all of the animals. Someone shouts a name at you and you can guess who the creation is.
Because when she showed it, it was in like a hand-dyed yarn, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's one thing, a hand dye, because I came to Toft later. So one thing I've just accepted, I'm never gonna get the hand dyes from past. So it's like they don't appeal to me as much as the patches do. I see a new patch and I'm like, how do I get that?
Did I hear there was going to be a hand dye sale at Yarndale? Maybe
there is.
I'm going on the Sunday.
I'm going on Sunday as well.
I'm going on Saturday. I'm very excited.
And she used the words very reasonably priced as well.
Yeah, because Kerry said in the live they're going to be half price, I think, because they're nearly good, nearly perfect skeins, I think they were, or some of the experiments and things. So I think it's going to be all uniques, one-offs. I'm not going to be there, but Gemma from Little Grey Girl and Nick Cool Woolens are exhibiting there. So I have already briefed them. They must go to the stand and pick a skein.
What do you mean they've got to pick a skein? They could have you on video and say, which one do you like?
Nick did say that. She said, "We'll video call you and you can choose." And I kind of feel like they know what I would like. So I feel like it will be more of a mystery surprise.
I think Kerry was saying that the reception isn't very good, is it? Because she was saying take cash if possible.
Yeah, we went years ago. I don't remember there being. I think we paid per card. Like we don't usually carry cash, but I don't remember. It's really cold. It's not, although it's not as cold as Wonderwall. Fancy Wonderwall is, if you've done both, Wonderwall is a lot colder than Yarndale.
I bought socks at Wonderwall this year because I couldn't feel my toes.
I remember one year it was so cold in Wonderwall, everybody was wearing their skeins of wool around their necks as extra scarves.
There was the one year that I was on the Ammonite stand with Jan.
That was pretty chilly.
Yeah. And I had one of the display blankets. Like, it was like, I'm just going to put this on now like a cape because it was really cold. And I think I turned up in a t-shirt thinking, oh, I'm going to be hot. I'm going to be standing around. And I was very, very underprepared clothing wise for that.
That was a cold show.
Yeah. And I think it's because it's in the barn, in the shed.
Cold concrete just soaks
cold
up your legs,
concrete
doesn't
floor,
it?
yeah. And you just think, well, I've got shoes and socks on. It's just the floor. But it's not. It's like there's definitely something about that cold concrete that doesn't lend itself to keeping you warm at all. Abby, how's your yarn bath?
I have sorted it. I have done my round and I'm on to my next colour for my border. So I'm making a granny square blanket for my friend.
Oh, nice. I love those colours.
So it was a pattern for a rainbow, but I've shifted it into greens and blues because they're her favourite colours.
That's lovely.
It's not Attic 24, is it?
Yeah, it's the Aria blanket.
I did it in the rainbow. I recognise the circle in the square.
I made my kids temperature blankets and I had a lot of blue and green left over. So this is my attempt to get it out of my house.
Is anyone planning on doing the blanket along?
Yes, I've already got my yarn all packed, ready in a bag. Oh, she started.
Already started.
Ooh, that's cool.
Amazing.
But it's done with Hobbycrafts Women's Institute.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so it is. It's a nice pattern, but you have to just be careful and really think when you're turning it each time.
Yeah.
You do one panel, then you have to turn it, and you have to make sure you get it the right way.
I'm in and are in as to whether to do it or not.
Is it on your list?
No, that's why I'm in.
Don't do it then. Not allowed.
No, but I feel like I could replace. I can change my list. I feel like I could change the list because there
Your
are
list
other
is a
top
bit
things
like
on
my
the
list. Things keep creeping onto it.
I know, but there are other things. There are top things on the list. See, like projects to go with the like some of the patches. So instead of making like the marigolds, I think was one. There's a few others. I could just not do those, and I could do the blanket instead. So I'm still crocheting, and it would still be stash yarn because I've got quite a big stash of Toft yarn, which I discovered in that video a few months ago. So I feel like it could be one.
I had to swap a lot of what I'd put on my make along list once I started looking through this magazine. I'm like, yep, no, that one's gonna have to go. This one's gonna be on the list instead.
And I find I look through the magazines and I either want to make nothing or I want to make everything.
Yeah, or just one thing.
Yeah.
There's a few magazines I was going back through them all, and it's like this one has one thing, or that one has 6, and that one has out. And
I made the hat at the weekend.
Oh, the beanie.
Nice.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the pom-pom to arrive. Yeah. I've got a leg as well. I've done a leg.
Me too.
Yay. Yeah, and me.
Got 1.5.
Woohoo!
I've only got a bit of a leg because I started on the body, realised I was doing the body instead of the leg. And of course, it's the wrong colour for the body. So I had to pull it back to do the leg.
Hey, you could make your own colours up, right? You could have had it. Yours would have been a special limited edition.
Well, it was definitely be special.
I've got a club foot.
Right, hold on. I just need to count and make sure I got the right number of stitches. Bear with. 1. Yeah.
Should we just start shouting random numbers at you?
Going back to the blanket, how confident are you in different crochet stitches, or
Not
are
at all,
you?
which is why I think I would be quite cool to do it. And
Yeah, I think it would be, because I mean, I'd say that I'm quite confident with doing, you know, different stitches, and it's nice to go back. You know, each block is different.
Yeah.
So it would make, you know, a good one to practice on. And I'm sure Kerry's videos are going to be fantastic.
And I'm guessing because you're going to need straight. My issue with crochet, which is why I always say that I'm into who crochets, I struggle with straight lines.
You want to say hello?
It's the straight lines and the edges. Oh, Miriam, who's that?
This is Hugo.
Oh, hi, Hugo.
You see him? There he is.
Oh.
There we go. Sit down nicely then. That's it.
Yeah, that's not Loki at all.
Good boy.
Just sit on me.
Yeah.
Hear me.
I've got a mini Hugo actually. Let me just get him.
Oh yeah, go and get him.
Stay there. Here we are. So I made minis for my daughter's wedding at the end of July.
Oh yeah, you told me this when I saw you at yarning them.
Yes, so this is Hugo, who was for my husband. So they were the favours and they were the place settings. So everybody had an individually chosen little animal or flower. So this was Hugo for my husband. So, and I've got a little monkey here, which was for my son and my sons. So,
how many did you have to make?
I made, I think, 40 plus.
Oh wow!
There were 33 adults and 2 babies at the wedding, but then there were people who couldn't come, so they all got theirs as well. So it went to 40 plus, yeah. And then people who had helped my daughter, like her hairdresser, they had one as well. So things like that. So yeah, it was, but it was what my daughter wanted. So I was very pleased to be able to do it for her. Yeah. So
what a fantastic gift!
You're a fabulous mummy.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The patterns, they were in the little books, and I loved the mini flowers. They were super. I hadn't done flowers before, so everyone I thoroughly enjoyed doing, and they were all chosen for a purpose. For my daughter chose a seahorse for one of her friends who's a new dad, and chose it because he was such a good dad, and seahorses it's the dads that look after the babies. So that, and it was little things like that. And then she said there'll be icebreakers if nothing else. So that's exactly what they were. So it worked wonderfully. Yeah.
How long did it take you?
2 months. She brought her wedding forward a year. So yeah, I did them in 2 months.
Did she consult you on that before she bought the wedding forward?
No, because she wasn't going to have anything. She didn't know, and she said she wanted it to be, if she did have favours, she wanted it to be of significant. She didn't want to just give for the sake of giving.
Yeah.
So that's why she chose as she did. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Fine. It was lovely. I was very pleased to do it for her, and she started. Well, we both started making the animals with Toft when she went to university and had problems with her mental health, and Crochet really helped her through that. The Kerry's Crochet. So I was very, very pleased that she wanted to do that at her wedding. So because it's been such a help for her, and Kerry's part. We've met Kerry on a few occasions, and you know how it's helped Robin. So yeah, it's lovely.
Amazing. What a lovely story.
Yes, I was very pleased, and people received them so well. I was unexpected because I had quite a lot of young men there, and they were so pleased with their whatever it was she'd chosen. One was an axolotl because he had an axolotl. Another had a frog because he keeps frogs. And they were just, you've made me a frog. I keep frogs. Oh, we've made you a frog. So yeah,
Yeah,
yes, lovely.
Lovely.
that's a great story.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you
Going
say
back, Martyn, when you
Oh, go on.
sorry, I was going to say, when you were saying about the straight edges,
Yeah.
I think because it's the blocks, they like help each other out. So like I had one block that did go out, but when you put them, or when you start another one, it sort of like brings it in.
Okay.
So I think that helps with the straight edges.
Well, we
because
shall
you
see.
can't see.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like I don't know if I want to go through my stash and find and plan colors, because let's be fair, right? I'm going to start it over the 7 days. I'll probably be able to keep up, practice the techniques. Then it's going to sit in a bag and it'll sit there for the next God knows how long. So I feel like I don't know whether to go through and plan colors and plan to do it properly and put it in a project bag and it's all ready, or just do random stash dives and just go in and grab a color. And let it be purposely random.
That's
Stash
what I'm planning.
dive!
Yeah, I'm planning a stash dive.
I've my current idea is to start off with and try and do one in every colour of Toft.
That's a nice
I'm currently
idea.
at the moment. And I'm hoping, I've got a bit of plum left from last year's advent. I'm hoping there's enough for that first tiny panel in the middle.
It
And then
gives
they'll
weight
grow out from there.
I think it gives weight of yarn.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to weigh it yet, so I need to do that before we start.
I have some plum left over, so if
I will Instagram you if I weigh it and I'm like 2
Instagram me,
grams off
yeah,
or something.
I will send you some of my plum because I have no, I can't think of a reason why. I feel like that some of the colors and things from the advents and stuff, they're there in the stash because at some point I'll think, oh, I need a little bit of that color, and so.
Well, I got all mine out and I was looking at them and I've got that one and I've got one of the, is it Mist from Aster?
Yeah.
Kind of really pale one. And then I've got the festive one from the Festive Snowman. Is up here. You know, with the speckling.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can actually use these. And then I realized actually, no, they're literally about that big. There's probably about 10 grams. I don't think they will go far enough.
I have no idea what's going to happen with Advent. I it's really funny when I go because sometimes like when I was there this time, Kerry knows I love the secrets and I don't want spoilers. So like they know the night before that I'm coming, so they say that they go around and they hide everything, and occasionally like something will get said. I'm like, oh, is that a secret? She's like, oh yeah. So I don't know that, but I know absolutely nothing about Advent because I love the excitement and I love the build up. And I don't think Karen's on. I'm going to try. I think I'll talk about it at the end. I'm going to move next week's call so that we can do the Southern Hemisphere. But one of my friends who I've met through Toft, Karen North, Karen is a naughty Advent person because when the box arrives, she opens it all in one go. She's one of those. And I'm like, no, she's like, I can't be doing the surprise. I just want to know what I'm making. I'll have the surprise with the pattern every day, but I like to see all the things. And she says that I stress her out because in some years, if I get behind, so say I'm on day 15 and I'm only on 15, but the actual day of the month is 18. I haven't opened 16, 17 or 18 because I won't go forward and open them until I'm up to date.
I'm the same. I won't like watch the anything on Instagram for the I'll have to avoid Instagram for the day or two because I know it's going to pop up with spoilers. I'm like, no, I don't want to look until
exactly. And I'm like, no, I want to finish this bit, and then I go, oh, okay, right, let's open the next bag and go, oh, okay, and then work out. I like that proper surprise, and Karen's like, absolutely not. I'm not dealing with that. I'm like, you're just way too chaotic for my liking. And I love it. Everyone's different, and they all do them in a different way. She's doesn't give me any spoilers. But no, I don't get spoilers. I'm very fortunate to have been to HQ. I completely understand that, but there's no spoilers. There's no inside information.
That was going to be my question, was did you see any advent?
No, absolutely not. No, I think I saw the one secret. I think I saw the next hand die. I think
I
it was.
saw that when I was there as well.
But that's it. I think last year was it last year that I was there for Kew Garden? I think was when Statue of Liberty came out, and I walked around the corner and I was like, that's new, and she's like, oh yeah, shush. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I won't I won't tell anyone because I want everyone else to have the surprise. But yeah, they're very good at trying to make sure that I don't find things out when I'm there, so that I can have the mystery with everybody, which is really sweet. And that's why I like, you're part of that community then at Advent, aren't you? Everyone's in it together. You all you get the surprise. And yeah, I have no idea what this year's going to be. I'm hoping some kind of elf pixie wings.
It's mini dolls again, isn't it?
It's definitely, yeah, mini doll.
Something in the woodlands by the hints.
Yeah. And that's why I'm wondering whether it is that kind of elf pixie fairy.
Yeah.
Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, could be something like that. Yeah.
Because there's the keys as well that's been in the theming.
Yeah, oh yeah. I might have missed it because I had to jump off. Really, how many other advents have you got, Martyn, coming?
Oh,
I don't have that many. I have the Toft Advent. Mark's here now, and
oh.
No, I was going to say I need him to remember, but then it's on the basis that I've actually told him all of them. I've got the Toft Advent. I've got the Yarn Badger Sock Advent, which is self-striped socks, which I feel like is a really neat Advent one because I can just do a stripe a day.
I did that one last Christmas.
Okay, right. So I've got that one. Then the Raw Wool Company are doing their first Advent, Anton. So I've got his, but that's not a traditional Advent. That's more like a Cornish hamper type thing. So it's got wool in it.
Oh.
It's also got like Cornish gifts and things in there. So it's not going to be wool every day. There will be some food treats and that kind of stuff. So I've got that one. And then I've got a fibre Advent, Jan.
Good for you.
A fibre Advent. But it's from Charmaine from Yarn Tings, and it's actually a yarn Christmas. It's like a Christmas Eve box. So it's the 10 days of Christmas. You start. My Advents are basically the Toft one and the Yarn Badger, plus the hamper. And then after Christmas, when I finish the Toft one and the Yarn Badger one, I then have the fibre. And I think there's 10. Either 10 or 12 days, and I think they're either 20 or 30 gram bumps. So will I be able to spin every day and get through 30 grams? Absolutely not. Will I try to? Yes. So we'll see what happens.
30 grams is very doable in a day.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what Charmaine said when I saw her yarning them. It's like a small amount, a little bit every day. Yeah. Although I was planning on spinning, I've got one that's on the go, and I was going to try and finish it the whole thing before Unravel because Charmaine is there, and I was going to go and do show and tell, and I've not done one spindle yet. It's been too hot.
Yeah.
Excuse.
I don't feel so bad now with my 3 Advents.
No, never feel bad. As long as the bills are paid, you spend your money. But I do think I had some logic this year with the. And actually, I tell a lie. I've got Gemma's weekly Little Grey Girl weekly Advent, but I'm going to keep that for January, and I'm going to think about doing the Stephen West Hyber Knit Along.
Oh,
when that comes out in January. I've never done it. I've always finished. I've only just done the Mystery Knit Along, so I've done MCAL. Then I've never done the Hyber Knit Along that starts in January. So I think I'm going to, again, I'll have Gemma's but I'll keep that till January. So that might be my hibernate along.
You're the reason I've got gemmas this year.
Yes. I'm always happy to enable.
Yeah.
I am going to try and do 2 MCALs again this year, though. Even if
Are you? Oh,
But it's only 2 colours, isn't it?
yes.
only.
Yeah, but still 60 million stitches.
Yes, 40 yarn.
It's the
Crazy
fun
yarn.
bit.
Is anybody going to mention Mark's jumper? I mean, come on.
Oh.
We've got
You almost got away with it.
Hour without it being mentioned.
It'll get done in January.
2027.
Look, as I said in my defense before, it's really hard. It looks really pretty and it's
It's really hard if you never work on it.
I know. You just said exactly. Oh, and it's not a jumper. It doesn't have sleeves. And again, I know, I get
Well,
it.
that's an even less of an excuse then. Come on.
I know. But I think I said in the last Q&A video, like, Jay, in also, it isn't the type of thing that I can just like now. So we'll finish this now. We're gonna have some food. Then I can't get that out and knit on it because I can't do 20 minutes on it. That's just one row. By the time I pick it back up, it has to be one that, because I think I want it to be perfect as well, because it's really complicated. Yarn's lovely. It's a thing now. I don't want to mess it up. So it feels like I've got to just have like weekend, just have a clear run on it, which I will do, but I need to finish last year's MCAL, which I've nearly finished.
What about all the ends on Mark's top?
That's
You don't
another.
know.
I'm trying to convince him that he needs to sew the ends
I
in.
was just going to say, he could do that bit. Sorry, Mark.
You don't buy a dog and bark yourself. Yeah, there's this. I've nearly finished on the dip stitches. I've got 2 more
Lovely.
weeks to go, and then that's my
Finished. Oh, lovely.
They are tough, them dip stitches.
They really are. 'Cause once you've done the dip row, you're on like 980 stitches
Yeah.
or something. I haven't done the ends on this one either.
Are you putting fringing on it?
No, I've decided it's not having fringe, but I do quite like the idea of not sewing these in and then letting it have fringe on the wrong side. It'll have fringe on the wrong edge, but I could like embrace it maybe.
Oh.
But like that's after tea project now, because I've basically got to do a purl book, and it's like 560 stitches or something. So that'll take me like 40. I think I worked it out. It's like 40 minutes a row. It's not a quick one.
I don't know where it is.
So yeah, we'll see.
I'm doing a shawl at the moment where you cast on the 500 and odd stitches and then you work. So the final row is like 5 stitches. It's messing with my head. Yeah.
I guess I like that idea though, because you know that every time you do a row, it's getting
smaller. Yeah. It's really heavy on the needles. It's really, yeah, it is weird.
But I'm hoping that this year we get a big. I think there's a clue, because one of the gifts in the kit is the semicircle shawl pin, and he said that might be a clue. So I'm hoping we do get a big, massive. I'd much rather do like an 800 stitch bind off.
You said it's similar size to Starflake, and that's quite a blankety.
My very first MCAL that was. So my thought is I've got 2 kits, and I will have 2 sets of yarn. And if I'm not a massive fan of this year's, I'll use the yarn to make another Starflake. That's my backup plan. But I'm going to do it again, fuss free. I'm going to do one kit throughout the MCAL, and then then when I finish that one, I'll start the second one, and it'll just be a project. I'll try not to leave it until literally 3 weeks before to finish it off.
Who's getting the first shawl then this year? Because it was Mark last year.
Me. There is a. Do you want a sneak peek? Where's my colours? So this year's is inspired by something that's happening in November.
Oh,
My husband's birthday. Oh,
Wicked.
oh,
Guess the movie.
oh, Wicked. Yeah.
Yes. So we have Elf Green and Glinda Pink.
Beautiful.
Very excited.
My daughter's just said in the background, my birthday in November. I'm like, no, I don't think it's going to be your birthday.
Yeah, so that's going to be my main one. So Mark had his first last year. I'm having mine first this year. We haven't actually talked about that, but I assume you knew that because yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you obviously thought that. It was his idea, in fairness. He came up with the colours. Right, I have done, so in the hour, I've done one full leg and a cuff.
Well done.
Yeah.
Two.
Same.
Two
and a bit.
and a bit.
2.5.
That's not bad at all. Look
No.
at
I've done a round of border.
Oh, very good.
I started with
I'm
body.
3 rounds short of a leg.
I can't bring myself to start with legs. It's always got to be the body first.
Ah. Oh, plus.
See, it's like someone I was talking to. There's a lady called Alison who makes a load of Toft makes, and she says with the dolls, she does them in reverse. So she always starts with the clothes. Then I think she does clothes, then arms, and then she does the body head. Rather than, oh, I've made a doll, now I've got all the clothes for it. It's like start with all the clothes and then work your way backwards through the pattern, which I quite like that idea. So I try and do legs or arms, I try and do first because they're done. They're fiddly, they're smaller.
I think if you leave legs till last, it's like the equivalent of Sleeve Island if you're making a
Yeah.
Yeah.
jumper.
I think I agree with you there.
I crochet my arms onto the body as I'm doing the body, so I do my arm first.
Ah, now I've heard of this. I've never done it myself.
Yeah. I
That's
did
a
it with all the
really good
minis
idea.
as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess
I
that would have
don't
been a big help with
sew-
minis because
I
there's no
don't
sewing
sew-
up then.
I don't sew the arms on. I only sew the legs on them. Yeah.
Ah.
What's our homework for next week then, Martyn?
Or learn how to sew in arms as you're going. Yeah, so next week, so what I'm going to do is I've had a few people get in touch to ask about doing one in a different time zone so that they can join from either East Coast America, I think, but definitely for Australia and New Zealand. So what I'm going to propose to do is, so next week's I'm going to do, because we've all got together now today, UK time here, I'm going to do next week's one probably 7 a.m. So I'll do it before I go to work. So that means all the Australians can then join. Then the following 2 weeks, we'll go back to 7 p.m. UK time. So you lot here are obviously more than welcome to join me before work next week, and we'll do it at 8 p.m. And if not,
Yeah,
and that's then we'll do it in 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and we'll do it on the Thursday.
I like you, but I am not getting up at 7 in the morning.
Well, yeah, and that's understandable, but I think at the moment it's like 4 a.m. there, and I can't ask them to get up at 4 a.m. That's a bit much.
You might see me, but I'll be in my classroom.
Yeah, I'll be at work.
Yeah, I'm going to do it 7 till 8, and I'll get ready for work beforehand so I can then finish, and I'll just go to the office. But it also means because it's MCAL season coming up, so Irina and I were trying to look at diaries and schedules when we can do our MCAL excitement live. And next Tuesday is also a really good day to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. But oh, no, that works because I did say I'm going to do one for Australia. So it works out well, actually. So I've done week 1 with you guys, week 2 with Australia, then week 3 and 4, we can get back together. And I might do another mop-up Australian one in the final.
Lovely.
My plan is to try and I'll finish this leg tonight. So I've done 2 legs. And then next week I'll do the 2 arms. I don't know if I'm going to get to my chunky one, but we'll see. This is the problem now because I don't want to do my knitting. I want to stay on this and make another Martyn. So we'll see. By the time I speak to you in 2 weeks, there will be a bear. I'm hoping there should be a large bear done, and then maybe there'll be a chunky one started.
Excellent.
We'll see. But yeah, thank you so much. Obviously,
Thank you.
I had the notification as you came in, this was recorded. So I'm going to save this down and I'll upload it to the YouTube. So for folks that couldn't join, they've been able to join us remotely and catch up. But it's been so nice. Thank you to everyone for joining, for the conversation. Thank you for supporting me and Kerry and getting the pattern and the kits. It's been super lovely to just sit and crochet for an hour. So this actually works out good timing wise because I can see the oven clock and there's 2 minutes and 4 seconds left before that's going to go off for tea. So yes, I'll let you all go. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Who was that?